The Promise. SCOTT-BUCCLEUCH. Chapter 3. Palito is offered a job. Pedro never forgot the words of the old woman. How can I help Palito? He often asked himself. He isn't a good student. He'll never be a doctor or a teacher. But he is good at football. One day Pedro had an idea. Because he was a bus driver, Pedro was a member of the Transport Workers Club. The club had its own football team, called Corinthians. The bus company was proud of its team. The team players did not have to work much. They spent most of their time practicing football. Pedro spoke to the manager of the bus company. On his 15th birthday, Palito got a job with the company. He became a member of the Transport Workers Club. 6 months later, he was playing football for Corinthians. Palito played on the right wing because he could run so fast. Every Sunday afternoon, Palito went to the city stadium with his father. They watched the professional players carefully. Watch the wingers, Pedro told his son. They stop the ball first. Then they pass the ball across the field to the strikers. Wingers don't score many goals. That's not their job. The strikers score the goals. Palito watched the professionals and he trained hard. He became more skillful. He dodged past other players and took the ball up the field. He tricked his opponents cleverly. The spectators laughed and cheered. His opponents became angry. They tried to kick Palito or catch his shirt. Palito learned to dodge even more cleverly and his opponents were not able to catch him. More people came to watch Corinthians. They wanted to see Palito play. His name became well known in Bahia. The following year, Corinthians won the amateur championship. Palito's photograph was in the newspapers. Palito was now 17. He was going to be a professional footballer. There was no doubt about that. One day Palito came home very excited. He had a letter in his hand. "Mum, Dad, look!" he shouted. "I've got a letter. It's from the manager of Bahia Central." Bahia Central was one of the main teams in Bahia. The manager wanted Palito to play for Bahia Central. He was offering Palito a job. Maria threw her arms round her son. Fernanda and Edith clapped their hands. They danced round the table and kissed Palito. Pedro did not say anything. He sat silently in his chair. "What's wrong, Dad?" asked Palito. "Aren't you pleased?" "Of course. I'm pleased," replied Pedro. "But is this the best thing? Are you going to accept this first offer?" "Not the best thing," shouted Maria. "Why not? Palito will be happy. He'll be rich." "Palito must accept," said Fernanda. There was silence for a moment. Then Edith spoke. "What do you mean, Uncle?" she asked. Pedro did not reply to the women. He looked straight at his son. "Palito, where do all the best players in Brazil play?" he asked. "In Rio and in São Paulo, of course," replied Palito. "And when Brazil plays another country," said Pedro, "where do the players in that team come from?" "From Rio and São Paulo," replied Palito. "How many Bahia players have ever played for Brazil?" Palito thought for a few moments. "I can't think of any," he said. "That's right," said Pedro. "Play for a Bahia team and you will never play for Brazil." "Palito, play for Brazil!" shouted the two girls. "Me? Play for Brazil?" asked Palito in surprise. "Why not?" replied Pedro. "You are good enough. You need more experience and you need training. One day, you'll play for Brazil. That is the greatest ambition of my life." "What's your advice then, Dad?" asked Palito. Ask the manager of Bahia Central to wait, said Pedro. Don't refuse the offer immediately. Ask him to wait. Palito thought quietly for some time. Then he gave his decision. Okay, Dad, he said. You know best. I'll ask him to wait. If you like our video, don't forget to like it, subscribe in the channel and share it with your friends.